It's the beginning of the semester, so I thought I'd hop on and go through the books that I recommend that you use while you're learning this year. And I'm actually going to do some PLC books, and we're going to do some electrical books. Now, you won't actually find any books by Tim Wolpern or TW Controls in this. We do have an online course, but we don't have any physical books. So first, for physical learning or physical books, learning PLCs, I do recommend the PLC Professor, Timothy Gates. He's a fellow YouTuber, and he has both of these books on Connected Components Workbench for the Micro 800 PLC. And these are very good books because not only does he take you through what the instructions are, he gives you a lot of practical applications where you can practice seeing, how you would interact with them in the field. And along with all that, on the Connected Components Workbench, he does have one for the PanelView 800 and the PowerFlex 525 drive. And these go along well with our online courses also. Now, as you're building up your PLC knowledge, you also are going to find that all of a sudden you do need that electrical knowledge because you're going to need a wire button. You're not going to know how to make a circuit work. You're going to want to start a motor, and you're going to be like, well, I don't know how to do that. And yeah, I do recommend an electrical course. But I went in, I dug every book out that I actually do reference still today. And this was the very first electrical book that I got. This was the Electrical Pile. And then maybe somebody can show me if there is an equivalent book that they like. I Googled really quick beforehand. I didn't see that this one was still in print, which I'll put links to all the books down in the description, including anybody that recommends something to replace this. But yeah, this was the first edition back in 1996. And it has a lot of very practical, look up quick knowledge that you're going to need out in the field. And now you'll be Googling, well, I need a 15 amp circuit, and you'll see, oh, well, apparently I need a 14 gauge wire. Then you're going to run at 300 feet, not understanding voltage drop. And so this kind of walks you through some of those basics. And so, yeah, I don't know how many times I've read this front to back. But along with that, I would recommend getting a copy, either electronic or physical copy of the NEC Code Book. Now, this is a 2011. Now, I have electronic copies of later ones. I probably should have a physical copy of later ones. But what you want to do is you want to get the NEC Code Book in the year that your state uses. So the actual NEC Code 2026 book is out, but here in Virginia, we actually use the NEC Code 2020. There's not a lot of variations in them, but if I'm working in Virginia, I need to use the 2020 code book. So that's a very good one. And along with that book, as far as electrical, is the American Electricians Handbook. And so this one right here, probably, oh, it says it right there. It is more of the electrician side, but there is a lot. I come out of the machinist world. I had the machinist handbook. This replaced my machinist handbook. And so, yeah, if you're really going down the electrician route, when I got my master electrician's license, I had to get obviously the latest NEC, but I also picked up this book, and very good complimentary book to it. And then, along with that, you do need the NFPA 70E electrical safety. And actually, I need to get some later copies of this, physical copies. I have electric copies of it. But, well, one, if you didn't know it, you're in our training center right now. And yeah, so a lot of times I'll pull these out when somebody has a question, that way we can read through them. But yeah, these are very important books as far as safely working in an industrial environment. And then let's see, well, okay, now these I do not recommend you get. But if you're watching this video and you're not in school, let's say you're interested in learning to build control panels, this is my UL 508A books that I got when I was a UL 508A panel, industrial control panel manufacturer. I do not recommend you buy these books. I recommend you contact UL and start down that path with them. A lot of people say UL is too complicated. It's only for big companies. UL makes it incredibly easy, not only for you to sign up, obviously they make it for that, but also to walk you through, are you even ready to be using their service? So don't buy these books, but these are very important books when that time comes. But you want to become a UL 508A panel manufacturer when you're getting these books. Now, going right along with you need some electrical knowledge. These other foundational knowledges you need, you're going to end up running into some pneumatics and SMC. And honestly, here's a good example. You can probably pick up one of these books from a local distributor or something, but this is the SMC training guide that has some really good info about understanding all the pieces that we need for pneumatic circuits. And also we have the SMC survival guide. And while it's a little old school, still grabbing a catalog and trying to dig through and understand some of the stuff, or going online and downloading a catalog and trying to understand it, that can be really valuable to your learning. Now, going back to Timothy Gates, he does have a couple other books. First of all, he has the exact same PLC books for Studio 5000. Now, I don't recommend that you go for Studio 5000 unless your school is providing the software and everything for you. And we have a lot of videos on when should you use Connected Components Workbench, when should you use Studio 5000, but this software requires that you pay. And I believe as you're starting out, you do not pay for software yet. But once you do, this is an excellent set of books. And right along with that, as we're building out our PLC and we're getting our electrical knowledge, we're also going to end up building out some HMIs and some SCADAs. And I do recommend that you start with Ignition, mainly because Ignition does have a nice trial software that you can use. And Timothy Gates does have a book to help you out with that. And we also have lessons as well. Now, as you're in school and you get done, don't throw all your stuff away. Because, here's a good example. Here is the CLX 5000 by Ron Buford. He's another friend of mine. He actually mentored me while we were starting out our training center. And yeah, a lot of times somebody will ask a question, I'll be like, wait, I do recall that. I'll go back and look at this book. So, there is some advantage to old paper books here. But those are some recommendations as you're starting out. But also down in that description, you're going to see a free online course that we have that you can go along side by side with your learning. And as questions come up, feel free to drop them in the comments throughout your school year. Good luck.